Right, it appears I may be live. Yeah, here we go. Time to go tell people where the heck to find this. And I'm gonna get started trying to paint this. I'm not good at this. So if any of y'all watching have not heard of Ignition Core, it is a chibi mech game, a skirmish mech game. It's got incredible gameplay. Let you get your boxes, and then all the rules are online. You just download it. So there's no like battle tomes or codexes or whatnot. You just go online to get it. Pretty great. Pardon me for a moment while I go spam my channels to get people to come look at this. Great. All right. So don't have to do it again. I am professional. Got this. Almost done. So many websites. Okay. Need to get painting. Wait, Discord. Can't forget Discord. That's important. There is a Discord for Ignition Core. Don't know if I have permission to give that out, but if I do, and I'm told sometime in the stream, I'll put a link in the description afterward or something. Put a link in the comments. It'll let me, and okay, that's already. Ignition. All right. Go ahead and close that. Brian, I am going to paint some of him red. If you see the coat of arms up there, that's my family coat of arms. I'm just going to loosely follow that color scheme. Just, you know, a lot of metallic armor, blues, reds, yellows, and I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to do what I can. Alright. Time to get started. I do know I want his face. Well, I thought I knew I wanted his face red. Is that what I want to do? Face is red. I've got a picture up of some painted ones just so I can kind of tell where the details are. I'm not going to follow it precisely there, but this will help. Like the split up there. I'm going to need a white too. Do a race. Paint a dragon on him. Could always paint mom on him or something. What's cool, I'm gonna, once I get the color scheme down on this Paladin, I'm gonna follow it with this pilot. Because they look very similar, and I think it'd be cool if they have a very similar color scheme, especially with their helmet. Wish I had a better webcam, I'm sorry. Or, I don't know, it's the lighting or something. I'll figure it out eventually. But, let's start with the mech first. That's the good rule of thumb, right? Start with, like, the leader of your army, and then paint him first, and then go on to the other stuff. Let's see, red and then yellow. Yeah, I'm gonna do red on top on this face, and then yellow on the mask. Big brush. This primer is so bright. Obviously, you can tell it's screwing up my camera. It's so bright. It's kind of hard to paint on. It's like a cheap Rust-Oleum primer, but it's so metallic. But it's worth it, because to get that color, I can't do that with any other regular acrylic paints. Well, here we go. Paint's going on. Good, this is applying rather easily. Good. Ah! I'm bumping my microphone and camera. Fat headphones. Move that out of the way. There we go. Really wish I could get this not so blurry, but... I was thinking of going some green again. Just because I had so much fun with that luminous stuff. Maybe I'll, but I do want to follow that, loosely follow that, family crest. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking of adding some greens. Maybe I'll do something weird and I'll have no, like, solid areas that are green, but I can edge highlight other colors with green. You know what I mean? Like a edge highlight a yellow area with green. See what that does. What do you think? I had a better brush, but apparently one of my kids decided to try to use it to apply super glue to something. So it does not work very well. Yeah, I showed this to one of the guys at the card shop games, and he really liked it. Interested in looking into it. Wants me to run him through some demo games. He said, in a complimentary fashion, that it really reminds him of Power Rangers. Like, yeah, I could see that. It'd be funny to copy the color scheme of whatever their super mech is when they all get together. When they all form into the one. Oh, Lord. And I'll get all the details here. Also can't decide if I'm going to null oil gloss. I'm definitely do it on the chrome parts, but I don't know if I'm going to null oil gloss the whole thing, or just do regular null oil on the colors and null oil gloss on the metallics. Brian, what do you think if I'm keeping this red, obviously, but I've got the red here. I'm going to put, hard to see, but I'm going to put yellow on that part of the mask. Should I do, like, yellow on the bottom part of the antennae, and then blue on the tips? Or vice versa, blue then yellow on the tips? I'm going to use black on a lot of the gun and the wings and the missile launcher. I could probably do that whole missile launcher now, just to get it out of the way, because I'm gonna do the whole thing black and all the colors and everything. I'm gonna edge highlight, like dry brush rather, with Runefang steel or a metallic, just kind of make it all look somewhat metallic. Let's see, yellow or blue? Do you think on the mask portion? On this part here, you can see on the paladins down there in the picture where they're kind of split. Yellow, okay. Stick with what I was thinking. There, I gotta ended part of this brush. Alright, so yellow. I've never painted like this where I'm like figuring out the colors as I'm going and not knowing exactly where I'm going with each color, applying all of that color, then moving on. I'm gonna be jumping back and forth on this. I've never painted anything futuristic, any kind of mech. It's all been fantasy models of some sort, whether it was D&D Pathfinder or Age of Sigmar. I haven't painted, well, I guess technically I have painted 40k models, but they were Tyranids, so that didn't count because that was literally just 2 contrasts on bugs. Ah, move that thing away. Oh well. There. Not too harsh with a Brillo pad, I imagine. Brushes. But all worn out. Has extra strands all over the place. Should have cleaned this last time I used it and I didn't. Well, I'll switch to a different one. This isn't an ideal brush for this, but what? I don't want to get up. Brush is like a mile long. Seriously, look at that. Like, really tall. Anyway. Doesn't have any loose strands. Oh, that's awful. That's gonna take. I'll just deal with the loose strands of the other one. Brian, you got me spoiled on these fat brushes. Oh my god, I've got to cut this. Brush was so good. I think that helped. Got a damn thing on. Ugh. Funny, I haven't had any of these problems in a live stream. It's like, uh-oh, your brushes aren't right. Uh-oh, this is messing up. Whatever. Do it live. Yeah, Brian, you've got to. I'm barely using little brushes for anything, but getting into areas that a big brush literally can't. Like maybe these eyes. That little center circle here. I'm gonna paint white and just do the fire of flame technique. Like that actually is his core. His ignition core. Oh, he said the name. I'm not going super detailed. Uh, just because I don't know what I would even do. I'm just going to make sure I get the right colors on there and then shade it. Then I'm going to layer those colors up and then edge highlight where I see fit. But most of the edge highlighting is going to be metallic. So that kind of makes it easy. I might edge highlight some sporadic areas of the same color of whatever base coat's there. But I don't know. I just don't know. I doubt this will be the only army I buy for this game, so if I don't go too detailed, I'm not too heartbroken. I'll just buy another one. Because I know there's yeah, I'll say it. I hear there's another faction coming out that's not available on the website right now, and it sounds appealing if it were to exist, and I'm probably going to buy that too. Because right now there's Paladin and Oni, and oh, here, you can probably see it on this one here. So Paladin faction, this is what I have and what I'm painting right now, is all this stuff. Here's the whole thing. So that's the Paladin faction. I have all this. You know, a lot of these weapons and stuff are interchangeable, or you can kit them differently. But that's actually the exact setup I have right now. I have a zero pilot too. I just haven't put her on a base. So that is Paladin, and right now there is also Oni available, and they look amazing. But that is the Oni faction. The other dropship looks different. Their Sentinels look slightly different. The Warlord just looks amazing. And the infantry have like a what are they called, Mimpos. I can't remember what the masks are called that they wear, but they're actually different miniatures. It's not just like a copy of infantry across the board, or like the same support stuff across the board, and then you get a different Warlord. No, it's all actually different. Apparently, I haven't looked at the gameplay rules for Oni yet, but apparently, like all around the board, they have slightly different rules too. So it's not like cut and paste rules either. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. The gameplay of this it's phenomenal. Probably the tightest game I've ever played. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm eventually, if I can get enough hype going for this, enough people around buying stuff, I want to run tournaments of this. Let's see, where to go next? Where's that paladin picture there? There's two different paladins with two different loadouts. Definitely gonna go black on my gun, on my javelin missile pod, and my I forgot the name of the jetpack. I'm going mostly black on those two. I'm gonna keep the fan silver, but everything else kind of black, and do the inside color different like it's done on that picture. Yeah, I already have the only battle report for this game up, so trying to corner the market on it apparently. If you haven't seen the battle report for this, you can check channel. It is Ignition Core developer Q&A and battle report, so you can meet the guy who made the game, see what he wants to do with it, and then watch a battle report. I do plan on doing an extensive how to play series as well, and I'll be starting that sooner than later. But I'm trying to get this stuff painted up because, spoiler alert, this weekend, not the one we're in, but next upcoming weekend, I'm planning on recording another battle report with Will, and I'm trying to get to where I'm not going to be using one of his, studio copies, but I'm using my own fire team, because he's gonna have something special painted up when we get there. Yeah, another battle report incoming soon. Probably it'll go live in likely 2 weeks, assuming everything goes well and I can get out there next weekend. All right, I don't know where to go next. You know what? I'm just gonna do some of the black. No, okay. My oh god, my hypothetical ADD. The antennas. But I stick with some of these face colors because I don't have to color in everything. I can keep it silver too. But I'm kind of trying to do some of the big plates with color. The antenna, I do want color though. Do I do yellow or do I do blue? Just do it all the way up. Let's see. You want some bright blues on here somewhere. Again, I'm going off that picture on the top left of your screen with my family crest. Yellow on the antennae. Sounds good to me. Have fun kind of getting dictated how to paint this stuff. And I'm just gonna do the whole thing. Dang it. Straggler. I must have had a bad batch of this spray the last time I used it, because it was a lot harder to apply paint to it than it is this time. I'm not having any problems this time. Oh man, I gotta go turn my fan off. That's what's drying some of this stuff up so fast. Be right back. Turn this fan off. There we go. You're saying yellow for the antennae, blue on the body. How much of the body? Let's do some outside plating. Yeah, I like that. I'll put some blue on the body. May go this Aegis shield system next. I don't know. This is a lot of fun not knowing what I'm going to do. I'm not being sarcastic. It really is a lot of fun. Yeah, you're probably right, Brian. A better brush is probably helping. I don't know why I do this to myself and keep putting yellows in my color schemes, because it's such a pain to paint. Like yellow. I blame Sean, Brian, why I like yellows. if anybody's watching has any questions about what I'm painting and what game it's from, anything you want to know about Ignition Core, I can help you out a little bit. I'm no expert, but I know things. If I don't, I know who to go to. Who does know things? I really wish I could get this clear, but like, I'm kind of clear everywhere else, but man, this chrome that I sprayed on here is insanely bright. Which is kind of the point. Because the storyline, this takes place in a desert region called Asalia. Alternate universe kind of thing. And I figured Paladins would be... This is all in my head, but like Paladins would be the... like maybe the enforcers, protectors. They would not be stealthy. They would not mind if you knew they were there or they were going to be there. So I figured shiny chrome in the middle of a desert sun would just... they'd be blindingly obvious, literally. Alright, so that's cool. And let's see. Where else to go with that? MA blues on that. On this section, blue. Try that. Using Citadel paints so far. That red is Mephiston Red, and the yellow is Averland Sunset. The blue I'll be using is Calidor Sky. Which I'm about to figure out what panels I want on. Weird switching between colors and paints so much, but I don't mind. I like this new style. Calidor Sky looks so good, so bright. Put on some music. Would y'all hate it? Maybe not yet. Okay. Love it. Super bright. Oops. I'm getting so distracted that it keeps drying my brush. while I'm doing all this. Oh well. Yes, Will. Yes, Will. I am painting this in, strongly inspired by the theme of my family crest. I'm basically just taking those colors where I've got a lot of silver armor and then using blues, reds, and yellows elsewhere. And it's funny because Brian came in and he just kind of like, paint this part that color. I'm like, all right, that sounds good. I don't have anything necessarily planned, so we're kind of jumping around and putting colors on different spots. See what happens. I've never painted in this style before where I'm just figuring it out as I go, but it's a lot of fun. Doing this. Will, the plan is to have this ready by Saturday. There's a higher likelihood that I will because I'm not pressured to. Because if I don't, you still have painted Paladin armies set up just like I play. But I really want to do it. I really want to try to get this done. Uh, Once I get this Paladin done, or yeah, this Paladin done, I'm gonna match kind of the color scheme on the pilot's armor, and then just do simpler versions on the rest of the Sentinels and the dropship. I didn't say what I'm ultimately going to play because I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I did say there's stuff happening that may not be the two factions available that seems very interesting. Oh, Will, Calidor Sky is such a bright blue base coat. And the only problem with spraying a color that you need to keep is when you spray a color that doesn't have a paint pot, so you can't really mess up. Because I can't fix it if I do. So no pressure. And I really hope you are playing full Oni faction because that would be awesome to have one battle report of here's an example of what's available. Paladins. And then another one we're like, well, since then Onis are available. Here's an example of Onis. How about that? Chris is so excited about Onis. She was working on some fan art today. Just sketching up some Oni stuff. And I'll come in here after I figure out where the colors are going and do my second coats, but let me get first coat down on all these spots while I can. Alright, so blue there. R. So the Sentinel mechs, they're called Sentinels on Paladins, and they're called Tengus for Oni. Is that right? Am I getting that right? Let's take a look. Sentinel mechs, Paladin, Oni. Ah, correct. Okay, Sentinel for Paladin, Tengu for Oni, and just for those watching now or later, we're talking about these guys. Which, you know, I have over here as well. They shine bright like a diamond with the way I've sprayed them. But there we go. This would be my Sentinels. I do have non-crazy sprayed folks, like just a white on these guys. Everything's just so bright. Not here, not so bright over here. There's a good spot to be able to see. Pilot, I did spray crazy bright because I want to match her with his color scheme whenever I'm done with whatever his color scheme ends up being. So I think I may just go through here and pick out the parts that I know are going to be black. Move on from there. And Will, you said the male paladin team leader's your favorite, but this infantry for the Oni, like I love that. I love how he looks. He's facing a different way, and I know they kind of are hold their blades the same. His almost looks like a sword, like he's pulling a sword out. Oh, it's really cool, and I love all the little scarves and kanji or whatever. It's awesome. That's Chris is going to be going in hard on that faction. Oh, I have no attention span. All right, so black on things that I know will be black. Let's start there. I'll get back to these. We're figuring out what panels I want, what color. Maybe if I paint all the black sections too, it'll not be so shiny and you can actually see it a little bit. But hey, it's paying off. I don't know if you're in here, Will. Did you hear why I'm coloring them so bright chrome? Aside from matching the crest? Well, I can probably just paint this whole thing black and then go back over the top some of the colors. I'm going to paint the missile tips red. But I may go to a darker red for those. Anyway, yeah, let's just do that. We like drive people crazy when they see how I paint. I would chaotic be the opposite of meticulous. Whatever the opposite of meticulous is, that's what I am. Pro painter, I am not, but I will paint. I will enjoy it, mostly. I will get acceptable models on the table. Painting a javelin missile pod. Haphazard. Haphazard painting. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Icarus flight kit. Ha! I remember it. I said the flight kit earlier, and I could not remember what it was called. I'm painting a javelin missile pod and the dang it, the flight thing. Remembered it. All right, I need my example. Infantry miniguns, like in general, because right now... Oh yeah, they're called Valkyrie miniguns, huh? Currently, if you were to go to the download page on ignitioncore.com. Can we call them Ratatat 9000s? So you rename them, I'm calling it Ratatat 9000. I'm firing my Ratatat 9000 into this guy. Oh, Crusader miniguns. That sounds way better. No, I love that. You know, you said Crusader too. I was looking at Crusader armor and seeing if I wanted to kind of base this off of those at first. And I was like, well, my options are red and white. Maybe black. So maybe not. And I remember the family crest. Never painted any kind of mech or futuristic thing before, so I didn't really have anything to go off of, and I didn't want to just Google mechs. So, here's something. Since you said Valkyrie faction, I am going to talk about Valkyrie. For any Dresden Files fans out there, I am probably going to make my Valkyrie faction based off of whatever unique color I can find from the Chicago Police Department. My pilot for my Valkyrie mech is going to be named Karen Murphy. Maybe not Karen Murphy with a direct ripoff, but he'll be named Karen. Why can't I reach stuff? Because I'm lazy and using one brush for everything. That's why. I decided to glue everything together first and not sub-assemble. Whatever. I'll make it work. You go like directly in that way. Or figure it out. I may not even get underneath there since you can't see it from looking up here or from the side. Oh, that's cool. As you'll notice, by the way, Will is the creator of the game. Anybody listening doesn't know William Neal created Ignition Core. So hey, if you have any questions about it, the creator's here. So he's a pretty good source for knowledge on Ignition Core right here. But he says you'll notice the female Paladin infantry have shields mounted to their miniguns. They were originally going to be bundled with the Valkyrie mech as shield maidens. Gun. Need more paint. Okay. On to the gun. gun blade, I should say. Yes, please. Also, I don't know how open you are with your Discord, but if it's available for public, I don't mind if you post links. That's all. Oh, that's part of the gun too. Are you serious, Will? Are going to be kaiju in this game? That is good news. Will says eventually will be kaiju, and when they arrive, they'll be AI driven, so you can play solo. Oh, that is sweet. One thing we need during lockdown is to play. Ah. You're just staring at a face here, but that's how I can see the inner part of this gun that I'm painting. Yep. Come on. You're all black. Fading and metallic edge highlighting will make you stand back out eventually. The loadout I picked on this Paladin is the gun blade. You can do a Lancer beam rifle or a gun blade. Lancer beam rifle is basically a big pew pew gun that can shoot basically all the way across the board. Gun blade is a spray and pray gun that flips into a sword after you're done using it. Unless you swing wildly. That's my kind of weapon. This is a gun game? Yep. Can I have a sword? Yes, I'm in. Yeah, having this Icarus flight suit, or Icarus flight kit with a gun blade is pretty good. because you get a lot more movement by having the flight kit. Because everything in this game, if you can equip it, there is a modeled equivalent to put on your mech. So you can literally look at a model and know how it's loaded out instead of having to be told. Those of us in the know call that WYSIWYG. You see is what you get. Spoiler for like the first year of me watching battle reports for war games. I did not know what WYSIWYG meant. And I just thought it was some kind of like orc thing. Oh, I wonder what ability that is. But this army's WYSIWYG, but I don't know what kind of abilities you get for that. Runny. And sorry for the but I'm painting that canister right there. There we go. There, now I can see it and you can see it. Kind of. The blur. Well, these models are really easy to assemble, by the way. They're the first resin models I've ever worked with. So I was scared, but it was fine. Yeah, I've heard. My wife was given a Morngul by somebody that had already been assembled, but just looking at it, nothing fit together well. And I watched a how to work with resin video by Vince Venturella. And it's him working on a Morngul. Yeah, it looked nightmarish. It was scaring me. And like I said, I got this stuff together. I got all this stuff assembled in like an hour. Which for me is a really good time. I washed them off by using dish soap and water. Scrubbed them with a toothbrush. And then use a Q-tips, kind of applied rubbing alcohol in a layer all over them after that. Let them dry, then primed them. And it paint's applying perfectly, so zero complaints on all that whole process. Whoever's doing your sculpting, thank you. Alright, there we go. Black gun. Black javelin. Missile pod. I can switch the Icarus flight kit now. Again, just go into the stuff I know I wanted. That's funny, now that I've got some black on the model, you can see a little bit more detail, and the chrome's not just blasting the camera to death. Your sculptor... Oh, you're talking about a... Oh god, I forgot his name. Yeah, he's gonna be... I'm gonna be there tomorrow, for sure. He's streaming... creating your sculpts, right? Hey, Roberto? Is that right? Again, I don't care if you post links or not in here, please do. You can post his Twitch channel. I don't remember how to say his full name, can't remember what it exactly is, but you know what? I think I can probably find his Twitch on here. Ooh. Will, can I show people that picture? It doesn't need to be super secret. Picture you sent me. Sweet, okay. Well, Will sent me a picture and I'm going to show it to you. This is infantry for Valkyrie. That is sweet. I am excited to get a hold of that. Hey Jared, I've got a futuristic mech game for you. Would you like to play it? Yeah, do you have anything that's not futuristic or mech-like? Yeah, sweet. I'll play that. That's the sculpt that Roberto came up with too. All this stuff is stuff that Roberto's worked on, right? Yeah, I watched him when he was working on this, I believe. His live stream when he was putting this together. And not only is it cool to watch him, but he is a good dude. Just like him. And he's hilarious. Side the fan. I'm not going to overthink this. I'm just going to go all black. Let the edge highlighting do its work later. Plus, I like all the up or interchangeable parts to kind of be a generic color. Because in my head, that's just like parts sitting in a warehouse that they constantly change back and forth depending on what they need for the mission. So, like they're not set to a specific color scheme. keep having to go back to get more paint on my brush, more than I normally would, because I can't let the paint get too watered down with this primer I use, or it will just go all over the place. So I have to make it a little thicker than I usually do. That's what you get when you use a $3 bottle of primer, just for the color it gives you. Whoops. I'm painting over that later. Next breather I get here in between painting, I'll put up Roberto's channel. Dang it. Getting a part that I'm not supposed to be painting. At least it's not a part that's supposed to stay chrome. I basically sprayed this entire flight kit just to keep the fans chrome. Could have probably just sprayed it black and been okay with a duller metal on the fan blades, but well, oh well. I've committed now. Well, that Calidor blue really matches the blue on the family crest. I'm happy. That's even before I layer it up. What am I doing? Black. Do it. Or black. Down. Like once I get this down and move on to Sentinels, they will go much faster. Then I'll actually be able to have a full colored model to look at and be like, okay, so this is my color scheme. All right, let's move forward. Will insisted I watch a mech show called Iron-Blooded Orphans. About 3 episodes in. First mech show I've ever watched. I really enjoy it. Because it's not just mechs pew-pewing at each other. There's a lot of good story in it, too. The good human story. And after I'm done here, I am probably going to go watch some episodes of that, because painting this is getting me in the mood for watching that. Getting me in the mood to play the damn game is what it's doing. Oh shit. Painted that. Oh well. The underside. Get away with it. Will, I want to do such a heavy metal version of Raise Your Flag. I want to do that. I think I could do it really well. I can do with the music first and then decide if I want to try to sing an English translation or learn it word for word. Do it myself. That is such a good intro song now. Oh, precarious parts. Don't mess up, don't mess up. I messed up. Oh well. Painted. Okay, the stuff I accidentally painted over is parts that are going to have an actual base coat as well, so not over chrome that I can't fix. Weird going through and doing my one layer first and then gonna have to go back and do my second layer after, but again, figuring out where I'm putting colors. Alright, let's see here. Do something about Berto's panel. Herberto. It's saying his name wrong. test, test, test. Am I back? If I am, do I sound normal? Okay, good. I don't know why my audio interface dropped out, but I just unplugged it, plugged it back in. I'm back. Never sound normal. Well, sometimes this interface, I'll plug it in, it will make my voice go way deeper. And, yeah. Sometimes I don't catch it. I had an entire stream do that, and I was like, oh, let's go look back at that 2-hour stream. And I had demon voice. Oh, that was cool. Maybe my voice is weird because nobody said anything, and some of them had heard me talk before. Like, no, it seems legit. I don't know what was. I don't know when it cut out, but I got bored with black, so I decided to switch to doing some more blues. Working on the knees. I think I'm gonna do kind of some outside paneling like this, and then do some sporadic panels with red and yellow. And keep mostly chrome. I also don't want to go crazy with painting the panels because I do want to make sure I keep chrome as a prominent feature. Ooh, I do have an idea. I think I'm going to paint the shield, Aegis shield system now. Do a blue strip. Middle red. And these 4 outside panels yellow. And then call it good. Yeah, sounds good to me. Feel like I'm preserving the honor of the family crest here with the color scheme. It's holding true enough. Oh, cool. I'm glad this is fun to watch. It's fun to paint it like this. Just kind of, I've said this a few times on the stream, but I've never gone into painting a model and not really knowing exactly where I'm going with it. It's usually all planned out completely. And this is more like, before the stream started, I decided what I wanted a color scheme to be based on, which is my family crest. And then I've just been kind of going and guessing.
And like, here, this color here. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Gotta say, it's actually really fun. It's refreshing to approach painting a model differently every now and then. So just constantly having the same approach, it gets a little boring. I almost finished painting a Warhammer army, and then just kind of burnt out. Was tired of waiting to get to the ignition core stuff, so I decided to stop waiting and just get on over here and work on it. Get it. Ready. I'm glad I did, because I'm having a lot of fun painting this. Never painted anything like this before. All kinds of new stuff for me. Drag a little more brush. Right. Blue there. Will, I've got some people at our local game store here in Granbury that are interested in seeing some playthroughs now. So once I get, now that I've got this put together, I'm probably gonna assemble some of the other ones I have, take them up there and get ready to start showing people. I am ready to get this thing out there. It's a fun game with awesome models that needs to be seen by more people. And now I can say they're fun to paint and assemble too. So all around hobby, it hits all of the fun parts of that. Much paint for what I need, but oh well. Too much paint on my brush. Right. Go with the whole panel and the stripe. I'm excited to start kind of creating my own little lore about why my fire team is in Isalia or Salia. I don't necessarily know that paladins are good guys, but I assume they have good motives. Good motives don't always make for good guys, but good start. Ooh, Will, that would be awesome if you and I could demo together at the store, because you're going to be able to answer so many more questions than I can. Because I just took the models up there while all the regulars were there. I was like, hey, look at this. I talked about it, and they're like, yeah, it sounds cool, but I don't know. We'll see. And then I showed them the models. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, nice. Well, so Will says once the world is established, talking about the lore and all that. Once the world is established, it's more about telling your story in Asalia than Asalia forcing a story on you. And I like that a lot, especially with the nature of these fire teams, these armored fire teams. Like, you're mercenaries, so it's really cool to. I mean, that gives just that alone gives you so much leeway to have any kind of story you can think of, because then right now it's like, okay, you're a mercenary, what's your motive, why are you a mercenary, okay, what kind of towns are you going to go into, what are you going to go there for, are you trying to help, you trying to just do it for the money, do you have some larger nobler cause, some larger or sinister cause, like what are you doing? And what's cool is, like, beyond the mechs you have all the infantry, so you have the human element built in already. And then on top of that, like, you've got these remote sentinels and remote tengus and all that. So that begs to question who's controlling them. Is it just your fire team on the ground, or do you have a base somewhere, or like somewhere remotely videoing in to see what the sentinels see or the tengu see, and are they controlling them like that? Therefore, giving you more humans to have in your story, possibly extended universe kind of stuff, but a lot of possibility. I'm talking about story here, and I don't need to look at the reference now because I'm feeling a lot better about it. So, here we go. I'll just put that as a focus. World of Asalia. Is it Asalia or Asalia? Where's the emphasis? From the written histories millennia ago, a piece of heaven fell to earth. A single shard of dense crystal saturated with the creator's wisdom and power. It was enshrined below the temple in a large subterranean cathedral, and a prosperous civilization grew around it, seemingly overnight. At the top of the temple, the Babel Tower grew, as if daring to reach heaven. Then, suddenly, the civilization vanished from all written history. Historians place the location of the crystal's descent in the desert plains of Asalia, a barren wasteland that sustains no life. Welcome to the colonies, pilot. Emerging from the back of a dingy workshop, a young woman in worn coveralls greets you with a tired smile. One might say it's a rosy smile. Yeah. I'm gonna do those. Yeah, I'm gonna do those raised panels too. I love all the raised paneling and all the different layers. You have so many options on how to put a color scheme together on this. Like, not just color wise, but where colors choose to go can make such a difference between people's mechs. It's gonna be really cool to see what people come up with. Honestly, I was intimidated at first by all the different paneling because I was like, oh god, what should I color what? But it's not that hard to come up with this. And if you're just not sure what to do, you could just leave it all the same color, because shading and highlighting will bring out detail just because of the all the different levels of all the different surfaces. So, nothing to stress over. I stressed over nothing. Oh. No, you. Man, this is really fun. I knew I was gonna have fun painting this, but I didn't know it was gonna be this much fun. Like, I'm getting excited the more and more throw colors on this. I almost want to throw a glaze over this entire shield once it's done, just to kind of simulate it having an aura, an electric field or something that it's generating. Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to do any more color on the shield. That's fine. Hey, you can actually, you're starting to be able to see it without too much glare hitting now. There, even with in the shadows, you can see how dang bright that chrome is. Oh, it's hilarious. I love it. Imagine being some shopkeeper in Acelia and some bandits come or whatever and start robbing the store, and then all of a sudden you hear over like a intercom or something in the distance. Step away from the market. You look out and see one of these shiny dudes just glaring at you. Like, oh, can't even look at him directly. He's so bright. Ooh. And decide if I should do these two raised panels blue or red. I've got these two that I would like to color, and these two I'd like to color. Oh, well, I'm totally immersed. I like this Asalia setting and like this. I don't know, the desert setting alone is big for me, and then having these mercenaries living in like the almost chaotic wastelands of that. I don't know. I'm into it. I'm into it. The his fists a different color, or just go with the panels by the fists. I need another reference. I love that you have so many. Yeah, there's so many reference pictures here, things to look at. Let's see. May do red on his feet on the very bottom, just to kind of bring the red from top to bottom. Yeah, I'll do that for now, and then we'll go from there. See how much more gas I have in me. But I'm already excited with how this is coming together. Well, I can't decide. I don't know if you were in here earlier, but I can't decide if I want to use a Nuln Oil gloss over the entire thing, like over the base coats and the chrome, or if I just want to do it on the chrome and use regular Nuln Oil on the base coats. The third option being only use Nuln Oil on the chrome and the gun. I don't know. Don't know how I to shade it. I know I'm using no gloss on the chrome because I know that if I dilute it down even a little, I won't lose the chrome shine. I've used this paint before. Used painted on this base on this spray before. Yeah, if I can find a Dragonhof gloss, I will, but I don't have one, as far as I know. That's the only reason I would go with Nuln Oil. Yeah, I would prefer Dragonhof gloss over the chrome. And down. If there's not a Dragonhof gloss, then I could severely thin down the regular. See how that goes. Yeah, because the Dragonhof shade would look great with the way the metal is on the crest. Kind of fit right in with that. I think if I get the feet done, I'm going to call it good for this go. I could go until I pass out, but I actually want to really want to watch Iron Blooded Orphans some more. I want to go over. I'm going to do this on the back part of this foot too, but I may switch the color up. I don't want to go crazy with the color changing on the panels, but I think I've been pretty safe so far. It's so exciting watching this become real. Getting painted, like all of a sudden the character is coming to life for me. Okay, do blue on the back of it. Keep the blue tied together. Outdoor Sky, new favorite base coat. I just realized I have a good reason to actually try desert basing for once. I haven't done desert basing on anything. Totally gonna do that on these though. So maybe I'll go hit a couple more blue panels just because I've got the blue out ready. But I honestly think I'm not going to hit up too much more with different colors. Just let the chrome ride out the rest. A few more blues. A little bit more yellows. Thank you. I think I'm going to hit the yellows or blues here and then yellows there. And maybe red in the center right here. Be done with reds, just almost like a triangle of red. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's like there's so much detail on this model that where you might be tempted to go crazy on alternating colors and going crazy on different panels, but I think that might actually take away from it if I get too carried away with it. I can keep it all the same color, but just let the detail will shine on its own. Don't want to overdo it. Yes. Like good. That paid off. Now, a couple of yellows. Left my palette. Yes. Wet palettes. Highly recommend. Highly recommend wet palettes. Alright. Alright. Oh god. Yes, I am.
Hi.
Whew. Chris just snuck up behind me and I about slapped my brush across my model. She scared me.
I don't think.
I give a reason when I scream like a lady.
I mean, it could just be Tuesday, so.
True.
Go.
I'll be in there a little bit later. I'm probably going to watch some anime. Yes. Oops. Bumped my mic, which also has my camera hanging on it. Where's that equivalent panel there? Red left. No, I need to put. All right. Okay. Here. Oop. Bump it. There you go. I think that's all I'm going to do for paneling. I might go back and do some black on some of the joints. I'm going to have to get a better look at it just to make sure I hit the right spots. There. Oh, you know what? I can get it. I see it now. Okay. Part of it. Oh, there's that. Ah. Yeah. Really. Can't decide if I'm going to paint the hands a different color or not. I'll have to decide at a later date. Let's see. I'm going to paint that stuff later. Right, I think I've tagged the basic idea of what I'm going to do with this guy. Then go back and layer it up and then shade and see if there's anything else. We'll layer up and then hit the missiles and this part of the wing with something. I'll decide at a later date. Get the back set up kind of the same. And I'll do like white on here and in here so I can do like a flame deal. A flame effect, fire effect. Also inside these. I don't know if those are boosters or not, that I'm going to paint them like they are. And then I'll basically go from there. I don't know if I'll be streaming that or not, but thanks for tuning in to get me a basic idea of my color scheme for my Paladin fire team. I am going to log off and go watch some Iron-Blooded Orphans. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed the content. You can see more about this game at ignitioncoregames.com. And other than that, have a wonderful war game.